Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Hey Janeé.
Ooh, hey Janeé.
What's up? Hey, Janeé.
I'm your host, Janeé Bolden, and this podcast is all about the good energy I put out into the world and the good energy I expect to get back.
That's what's up.
That's just me saying hey to the world and waiting for the world to say
Hey Janeé.
Hey, Janeé.
absolutely. So we got my good friend Needlz here today. We went to NYU together.
Yes.
We worked together on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Know him well, love him very much, value him. I was on a podcast with him before called the A Room show. I really appreciate that you gave me that opportunity, and it kind of sparked a passion for talking about things that I care about.
For sure.
So today's episode is called Amplifying Voices That Need to Be Heard. So every episode we end with a affirmation, and that's where we get the episode names from. So we're leaning into themes of Black Music Month. It is June, Black Music Month, as well as fatherhood. Needlz is father of 3.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful children. Father's Day is obviously this weekend. He's also an advocate, and he has a creative legacy that he's built. You guys might know some of his songs. He's a hit-making producer. He's also now a documentarian.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's what's up. Love that.
So for this week's moment of joy, it's really honoring fatherhood. I think that Black fatherhood specifically, I love to see Black fathers. I've had multiple father figures and fathers in my life. My uncles have been amazing to me. My fathers have been amazing. I have multiple fathers. My mom's been married a couple times, and I lucked out. I hit the jackpot. So I'm really excited about all the moments that we're going to get to see, people being recognized who I feel like fathers are unsung heroes. I think everyone talks about the moms. And then sometimes the dads really get kicked for Father's Day.
Right.
Sometimes with all the people talking about, I gave my mom a Father's Day.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that.
Right.
We're not a negative podcast.
I'm not expecting much. I never do for Father's Day.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean,
Let it out.
Yeah.
Do you have any moments of joy that you want to share?
I think just being out in nature recently, I have enjoyed being outside for extended periods of time. I mean, I work with horses once a week, and I'm just having a blast. I'm so peaceful out there.
I could see it. I could see it through the Instagram. I can feel it. I feel the energy when you walk through the stable.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. I love horses.
How about you, Needlz?
Moments of joy. For me, I guess it relates to the topic. It's just, seeing my kids kind of doing their thing, growing up.
Yeah.
It's, I have my oldest is a DJ, and
Oh wow.
She's a dope DJ.
Yeah, and then seeing her DJ, now she has like a world tour and all these things that
Excuse
she's
me?
yeah.
Wow.
So just watching her grow in her field, and then my son as well. Him playing basketball. I used to play basketball, so watching him grow, and then obviously Makayla, just seeing her grow up as well. It's it kind of relates, like I said, to the topic, but just seeing my kids do their thing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Definitely.
I know so many great Black fathers. I love seeing it on Instagram too. So.
Well, I really wanted to get into that because Needlz actually created a documentary called Makayla's Voice. It's on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. I don't know if you want to introduce it, talk about
Sure.
Makayla some, and as well as how the documentary came about.
Yeah, so I have 3 kids. My middle child, Makayla, is nonverbal, autistic, and for the first, 14 years of her life, we didn't know really what was going on, what she was thinking, how smart or she was, or just what she was kind of taking in. We tried all kinds of different therapies, speech therapy, OT, and all these different things. We ran across this communication method called letterboarding, and it's literally just a laminate board with letters, and Makayla kind of just points to the letter, and slow and methodical, but as she started to get, gain her strength, because there's like a motor piece to it too. As she started to gain her strength and become confident in pointing to the letters and stuff, we just found out that she's just a brilliant kid.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant person. She's
a writer.
She's a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her vocabulary is like incredible.
Yeah. And we never, I mean, the thing we wanted to know is just like if she was okay, like if she was like hurting or if she was ever uncomfortable or needed anything, but it just turned into this like poet, and we're like, who taught you all this stuff? And I think over the years she's just
sponge. She's a sponge.
She's a sponge.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
she's seen you be creative. Yeah. She's super proud. Like you just have to see the documentary. Really, I encourage everyone, because just the incredible things that the Kane family is doing, and specifically like Makayla is a very important member of the family. Yeah. She fits right in with the family. Everyone is outstanding, and everyone is doing their own thing differently.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm proud of them all. Mm-hmm.
Now I've known you for years. I know your many hits, Cardi B, Jeremiah, so many different artists that you have produced incredible hits for, but I never really got into like how that came about. I wanted to ask you, especially in the spirit of Black Music Month, like what artists kind of shaped that journey for you and shaped your creative voice?
Well, I started out as a DJ. I DJed in high school. I went to FAMU for the first few years.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Big rattler.
So I started there. I went to SBI for the first few years, and then I transferred to Florida State. So, I kind of fell in love with music, and while I was at FAM, but I didn't know that I could have a career in DJing. Back then, DJs weren't making millions of dollars like they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was making $200 here and there. So I didn't know much about the music industry. I figured I'd go to school, and at the time there were only a few schools that had a curriculum for music business, and NYU was the school that I was like, it's in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's in New York. They have curriculum, so let me try to get there. So I transferred to Florida State just so I can graduate earlier. And made my way to NYU. While I was there, they had
my alma mater.
Yeah, for sure. So while I was there,
our
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Y'all have yours. We have ours.
So while I was there, it was mandatory to do an internship. They have for their music business program, and I interned with Janice Combs, which is like it's part of Puffy's producer management company. So I was working for them as an intern, and they asked me like, yo, what do you do on the side? Because all interns have like a side hustle. And I was like, well, I used to DJ. I just started making beats. And they said, well, let me hear the beats. And so they took a liking to my beats and then started sending my stuff off with the rest of the producers.
Oh,
they
wow.
knew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's how I got my start. So I sent it off to Def Jam. I got some stuff early Def Jam. And then I guess my big break was like early G Unit. So like 50 Cent, Piggy Bank, and Gangsta Shit, and all these different G Unit records. That's how I kind of got my start.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then from there, it was just like the South kind of started taking off. And so I told my family, I was like, yo, we got to move to Atlanta. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to have more opportunity. So the first record I did when I got down here was this record with Drake, Wayne, and Jeezy called I'm Going In.
Love that one.
Yep. And then shortly after that, I did Bruno Mars' first single, Just the Way You Are.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I think I just impressed Meaghan with my booking skills.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a journey. It's been, the music industry it's not an easy thing to be in. So it's like, for me, it's just finding that balance between just being a parent and really being out here. You really have to, do all the extra stuff. You got to go to the parties and network and all that stuff. So
right.
I actually stopped doing like rap music to do R&B because it's easier for me to work I just work with writers and we submit songs, excuse me, as opposed to having to be there next to the rapper at 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really got into more like R&B and pop just because it'll give me more time to work, be with my family and work.
That's beautiful.
What's really important.
Yeah,
I love that.
For sure.
Wow, I'm so glad I asked you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we do something over here called Meaghan's Thought of the Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she does on social media, she shares her 8 thoughts of the week. This week's thought
is there's opportunity wherever I am.
I love that.
Yeah. I actually wrote that in my notes in 2020 when I quit my job at iHeart Miami. Obviously, I'm back at iHeart now, but I was just like, it doesn't matter where I go. Like, people were making me feel bad about leaving. I'm like, there's opportunity wherever I am. So that's been in my notes for 5 years now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. When I heard you read it, I actually went back to what we were talking about with you, Needlz, because I feel like with the documentary, it's literally your family saw that as an opportunity to help other families by sharing your story of something that you were going through. I think it's incredible that we all understand our own power.
Right.
And also that whatever we're going through, we're not going through it alone. There are other people who have a similar path that they're walking. And that by sharing that, you're also helping and empowering other people.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's just amazing with the film. Every day we get, families.
I'm sure you do,
families reaching out like, oh, that was my kid. And, thank you for sharing. And just, it's been worth it just to see the impact that it's having, you know what I'm saying, with people. And we this just to start for us, we just hired an architect to, get started on this autism center we've been trying to build. So
wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. We're going to continue to follow your progress there.
For sure.
Getting into C Stream and Skip. I am recommending we see Materialists. It is the new film starring Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal's baby girl. That's what everyone says. Everyone loves Pedro Pascal. And Chris Evans is also in the film. People are kind of calling it like Hitch 2 because she plays a matchmaker.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I had something different for stream here, but I'm actually going to ask that you stream Makayla's voice on Netflix.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's do that. Yeah. It's only 24 minutes.
Sure.
It's a quick one.
It's a good watch, too. And for skipping, let's skip the commercialization of Juneteenth. Let's make an effort to reflect on honoring the meaning behind the holiday over the merch and the marketing. Juneteenth is for us, and so many people experienced unthinkable acts in our history, and to see the commercialization of it is like disgusting.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Okay, so for what I'm working on right now, this is actually in the can already, but I do want to promote because they were really important features. I featured Kat Graham and Carrie Hilson on OK Player. I did In Her Words features for Mental Health Awareness Month. So I just want to point people back to those. Kat had a lot to say about staying even-keeled no matter what's going on in your life. And Carrie talked a lot about how she kind of it's similar, like daily things that you have to do in order just to navigate life's ups and downs. For example, she was saying when she starts to feel the blues or down or whatever, she asks herself, have I been outside? Have I walked lately? Have I drank my water? Have I eaten properly? Am I eating clean? Those type of things, and how they all play a part in how we operate.
Carrie's album is fire, by the way. Yeah, check that out.
She has another part coming out to it, too.
I think so. I have one on there. That's why I'm
Which song?
Tell us more. Which song is yours?
There's it's a 6-minute R&B song called Something, and that's just rare because it just builds and builds on that album. But the whole album is really dope. You should check it out.
Have you watched On the Spectrum, Love on the Spectrum on Netflix? You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's one of my favorite shows. I just thought of that because I went to Disneyland recently, and Connor from Love on the Spectrum was there. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
He was with your group?
Well, kind of. He was with the creator, the influencer group,
so
and then I was with the
awesome.
Press group.
I love
but
the opportunities.
His whole family was there, and he was on the flight that I was on, so I saw them before we even got to LA, and then once we got to LA, he was at the parks.
Oh,
Check it out.
Yeah. So it's actually time to close. I hate that this was I know short and sweet.
That's what's
to the
up.
point.
So the affirmation of the week is, through love and creativity, I amplify voices that deserve to be heard. My purpose is rooted in compassion, and my legacy is built on understanding.
I love that.
I dig it.
Thank you so much. Well, that's it for this episode of Hey Janeé. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Like us, comment, share, hit us back. You can comment.
Please comment. Leave comments. Especially, I like the comments on the YouTube. Those are like good to see.
Yeah, they were great to see. Also, I have a Substack, the Hey Janeé Substack. Follow me there, follow us there, and I will have links to everything mentioned in this episode, including Makayla's voice. I'm going to find out from Needlz if there's a place that we can find like your discography.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean...
Don't be so humble.
Wikipedia, I guess. I don't know.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll do some links.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Happy Father's Day.
Hey,
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.